Hello, welcome back to the Steadfast Life podcast, or welcome if this is your first time. My name is Jake Rail, and I am a coach here at Steadfast Life Coaching. I am half of the coaching staff, and we just love to change lives. And we always try to notice throughout the week what comes up in our clients' stories. How are their breakthroughs showing up in the process? And then we try to take that, the questions they ask and the topics that we cover, and come up with something for the podcast for that week. And this week, what we want to take a look at is confidence. So confidence comes directly from your self-talk. It comes from nothing else. We like to believe it's our accomplishments, it's the evidence, it's the things that we do or don't do, it's the skills that we acquire or the courses that we take, or the time that we've been successful. But the truth is, it only comes from self-talk, because any of those things could be present in magnitude. And you could think to yourself, you could say to yourself, yeah, but you just got lucky. And then it just wipes it out. A mountain of evidence, gone, just like that. And so your confidence comes from your self-talk. Now, self-talk is kind of a buzzword in this industry and very boring. I don't like to do buzzwords. And so I want to take a look at one of my favorite aspects of competition, and that is trash talk. I love trash talk. I talk trash when I play sports. Let me rephrase that, because this is going to be important when this comes up later in this video. I talk trash when I am playing against a very good opponent. That's an important distinction, because if I was playing someone who I was just going to beat, there's no reason to talk trash. I would just play, smile, have fun, and win. So if the trash talk shows up, that opponent can actually know, oh, Jake thinks I'm good. Jake might be a little bit scared that he's going to lose. And so he's talking. That's a very important framework to have, and it will come up later in this video. But what I want to offer you is wisdom into your own self-talk, insights into quieting the debate, clarity as to how you are allowed to speak to yourself and what are the most effective ways to speak to yourself in pursuit of your goals and dreams that are highlighted by the concept of trash talk in competition. Because trash talk has one very specific purpose. Its purpose is to decrease the performance of the person who's hearing the trash talk. You're saying something to someone so that you can limit their effectiveness in this competition and give you a greater advantage to get what you want instead of them getting what they want. Another very important thing to understand, that is the purpose of trash talk, and it is the only purpose of trash talk. So here are a few examples of the trash talk that I hear and enjoy. One of my favorites is that a good friend of mine, actually, Jason Kirshner, who may see this video. One time when we were in high school, this guy blocked him. So we're playing volleyball. He hits the ball. The guy blocks it. And he's celebrating, of course, with his team. And Jason goes and gives him 5 under the net. And he says, hey, nice block. It seems like he's having good sportsmanship, right? Congratulating him. But once they give 5, he grabs his hand and he says, act like you've done it before. The message there is the important part. The message is, don't celebrate. Stop celebrating. You don't deserve to celebrate. Decrease your joy. You don't deserve to celebrate. That's the message of that trash talk. Another one is that after someone makes an error, you might ask, hey, does that feel stupid? Is that embarrassing? And the reason you're saying this is that you want them to feel embarrassed. You want them to feel that everyone saw them. You want them focused on what they did wrong, the error, how it appears, and what other people might be thinking about them, rather than forgiving themselves, offering themselves some self-compassion, and moving on to the next play. We don't want a next play mentality. Very important to understand that if I'm trying to decrease your performance, I do not want you to forgive yourself and move on. I want you to sit in it and wallow in your error. The next one may be that you just shout to your teammates on defense, hey, just let them go. Let them shoot. Let them run. Let them hit. Whatever you want, whatever the game is, just let them go. Trying to communicate, yeah, that guy over there, he doesn't have any value. He doesn't have any worth. I don't want him to believe that I believe he is an effective contributor in this event. I want him to be second guessing. Whoa, I'm not even good enough that they're going to defend me. I want to plant that seed, because the more he's questioning his worth, the less effective he's going to be. Another one I like is just saying to someone, hey, you're in over your head. Anytime they make an error or do something that could possibly be construed as evidence that they don't belong on there, you let them know, hey, you don't belong here. You're in way over your head. I think someone on JV accidentally came in the varsity game. You're trying to encourage imposter syndrome. I want this person listening to the voice inside their head that's saying to them, you don't belong. These other people are at this level and you're at this level. I want them to hear that so that they will decrease their performance. One more that you might hear is when one athlete says to another, yikes, man, that was a lot of errors. You better be careful. I think your coach is thinking of pulling you out. Planting these seeds, fostering these doubts, letting this player try to go forward thinking that their next error might be their last. You want them attempting to perform in such a way that they believe making an error, one more error, is going to ruin everything. It's all going to come undone. You're actually trying to create a perfectionist mindset. I've got to play perfect. Let me focus and play perfect, otherwise coach is going to take me out. That is a great place to have your opponent if you want to decrease their performance. You're not enough. You haven't produced enough evidence to justify believing you will be successful. You need to prove it. If you're going to act like it, if you're going to think it, if you're going to think you might win, you better prove it, and you haven't proved it. That you don't belong here, that everyone out here is at one level and you're not up to par. You don't belong out here with the rest of us. And that you're just one error away from it all coming apart. These are the themes of trash talk. And as mean as they are, and whatever thoughts you might have about whether they're appropriate in sporting events or not, that's not what I'm trying to talk about. I want you to understand the themes of trash talk. I want you to understand how you can look at this and be like, that is trash talk. Because once you can identify it, then you can attach it to its purpose. Its purpose is always and only to decrease your effectiveness, to decrease your performance, to keep you away from performing at your highest potential. This is really valuable because if you're honest, you probably talk to yourself poorly sometimes. And you may even suggest, hey, I shouldn't say those things to myself. But there's a debate that goes on. There's a debate that goes on in your head about whether or not the negative things you're saying about yourself, the criticism, the idea of your inner critic, what if it's actually helpful? What if it's actually some wisdom? The old tough love or iron sharpens iron that people love to cling to in the Bible. Yeah, we've got to be mean. We've got to be hard to ourselves. We've got to hold the standard. That's the way to do it because iron sharpens iron. But once you understand trash talk, once you recognize it as trash talk and you know that it only has one purpose, then you can quiet some of these debates in your head. Let me give you one of my favorite examples. Imagine you're watching a basketball game and it's very close. It's a close game and it seems like whoever takes the last shot is probably going to win this game. So it's a game of possession. Whoever has the ball, they're going to win, but there's a clock and it's running out and you're kind of wondering, okay, which team is going to end up with the ball? And then there are 16 seconds left. And your team is ahead by 1. And a great player on their team gets the ball and he starts dribbling. And so the crowd all together in unison starts yelling 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And right as the crowd gets to 1, the player just puts up a Hail Mary type shot, right? It just goes up there because he's got to. It's do or die. It's either make it or lose. Like, no, it's not the shot that I wanted, but I'm not going to just hold on to the ball while the clock expires. And then after the ball goes up and he misses the shot, only then does he realize there are still 10 seconds left in the game. The crowd just made that up. It is a classic. It is some great trash talk, and it makes me laugh every single time. Now let's imagine that the crowd knew the kid. They knew his story. They knew how much work he had put in to get to this moment. And the crowd knew that there was a collegiate scout in the stands and that this is a high school game and this is this kid's chance to go to college. And the scouts there watching, and the fans even knew that he had been injured a while back and he had just gone through a brutal process of physical therapy and rehab to get himself back to where he could compete. And this was a big night in his life and it really mattered. And this was the moment that was, gonna possibly elevate him to all of his dreams and aspirations that he'd been working on for the last 4 to 8 years. The crowd wouldn't behave any differently. They would do the exact same thing. And that's how I know that there is no wisdom in your trash talk. The enemy comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. Your lower brain only wants you to quit, to go small, to stay safe, to be on the couch and under the blanket watching the movie. Your lower brain is not going to sometimes support you in your pursuit of mastery, freedom, and contribution. Your lower brain loves you, but it has such a value on comfort and safety that it does not see the point in this pursuit, even if it understands how hard you worked, even if it understands how far you've come, what you've overcome, and how big this moment is, it still wants you on the couch. But here's what's so cool about this. Once you realize the purpose of trash talk, once you realize that the lower brain always wants you small, that the thief only comes to steal, kill, and destroy, that the enemy only wants to decrease your effectiveness in the pursuit of whatever you're going to contribute to the world, then you get great clarity. You see that you can end this debate that's going on in your mind about whether the criticisms that are offered up to your mind for consideration might be a little bit of wisdom. They might be a little bit of solid correction. They might be really helping you to make important change in your life. You can quiet that debate because you know that trash talk does not contain any valuable wisdom. The crowd is always going to say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 when there are still 10 seconds left. And then you get clarity on all the different categories of self-talk. You get to say, oh, my brain, my lower brain wants me to think that the clock is running out, that it's urgent and I have to go fast, where my fans, they want me to know that I've got plenty of time. My lower brain wants me to question whether or not I really deserve to celebrate this victory, when my fans want me to celebrate everything. They want me celebrating constantly because they know it's the way that I play the best. My lower brain wants me to withhold forgiveness and decrease my access to self-compassion. But my fans, they want me to love myself, be proud of myself. They want me to be able to make an error and just move on and go play the next play and play up to my best. My lower brain wants me to think I'm not even worth the effort of being given an opportunity. But my fans, they want me to have the ball. My lower brain wants me to feel the pressure of having to perform error-free, and my fans, they just want me to keep taking my best shots. My lower brain wants me small, and my fans want me big. Trash talk just revealed exactly how to go big. So what do you do with it? So now you recognize the trash talk, which is great because you can stop wondering if it has wisdom for you, if it's some sort of valuable advice. But it's still there. It's still chattering. And an athlete may hear this while they're playing and they know that it's not helpful advice, but they still hear it. And so if we take a look at the great athletes and we kind of watch how they do it, there's a few things you can observe. One is that they don't engage with it. They don't debate with it. You never see them trying to convince the fans to try to join their side. You don't see them trying to say like, oh, I did 3 good plays. Now do you guys see? Now do you guys see that I deserve to be here? Will you support me? No, the other team's fans are never going to support you. So don't engage with it. Don't debate with it. The next thing they do is they assign a meaning. And this is what I was talking about at the beginning. I would not talk trash to somebody who I thought I was automatically going to beat. And so the presence of this trash talk means there is a possibility for success. Your brain is not going to be so loud about how you shouldn't continue unless it thinks that you might succeed. And if you succeed, life's going to get big. And then when are you going to get on the couch? When are you going to watch a movie? It is terrified of you being successful in pursuit of your biggest ambitions. The enemy would not be attacking if he didn't think that you were going to be effective. He's got limited resources and he's going to use them to stop the biggest threats. And so when you hear that, when you feel those attacks, that's a great reframe for you. Somebody's scared that I'm going to win. Somebody's worried that I'm going to be effective. I am seen as a threat to whoever is presenting this idea to my head. Okay, there's a little bit of swagger that comes, and all of a sudden the trash talk is actually kind of welcome. And the last thing is that you'll see the great athletes smile. It is such a powerful tool. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thanks for that input. 5, 4, 3. Okay. Take your time, guys. I can see the clock right there on the scoreboard. Oh, that's funny. They're talking trash. Like, you can really get distance from it by smiling. It's one of the things that Viktor Frankl talks about, is that when you can joke about it, when you can laugh about it, when you can see the hardships in your life as funny, that's when you know that you have enough distance to make valuable change. So end the debate. Listen to your fans. Recognize the two voices in your head, know who's speaking, and know the value of the words that they're sharing, and then listen to the ones that are valuable. Listen to the ones telling you to celebrate. Listening to the ones telling you, next play, I know you made an error, but forgive yourself, have some compassion, and move on. We need you out here. Listen to the ones saying that you deserve to be here as much as anyone. Why not you? Listen to those voices that are encouraging you, because God wants big things for you. The enemy wants to decrease your effectiveness. Have faith in God. Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Ask Steadfast. Whit and I are super excited to use this avenue to sort of spread our message. And so it would mean a ton to us if you'd subscribe to this channel. Additionally, if you have any questions you'd like to see addressed in future episodes, whether serious or funny, we'd love to see those in the comments. So leave that in the comment below, and we'll see you in the next one.